A canyon is a deep cut in the earth with steep sides and a small bottom. They are very deep and difficult to access. They are made up of layers and layers of rock strata all along the sides. The harder rock takes longer for them to wear away. Canyons that only open up on one side are called box canyons, and slot canyons are narrow with very smooth walls. A canyon is usually created from wind and water, such as a river. The river will flow down through the canyon, and it will bring little chunks of rock down with it, which are these things here. And as the rock flows down with the water, it slowly compresses, creating the bottom of the canyon. Valleys can be either V-shaped or U-shaped. Those are the two most common types. They also most often have a river flowing down the middle, which was used to help shape the valley itself. And they are most often have cross sections of slopes or hillsides along the edge of the valley. A canyon can take anywhere from a few days to a few thousand years to even a few million years to form completely. As an example, the Grand Canyon took more than 2 billion years to form completely, and it's still forming today. One more example is the Burlingame Canyon in Washington. It took less than 6 days to form completely. The type of weathering that occurs inside of canyons is called frost wedging. It's very simple. There are lots of cracks inside of the walls of the canyon, and when it rains, the water goes inside of the cracks. And at night, as it gets colder, the water freezes, and it slowly starts to expand. And during the day, it starts to melt again, and then it continues freezing and repeats until it has expanded so much that it falls over. There are many different types of erosion that occur in canyons. There are two different varieties called deflation, which carries the loose dust particles, and abrasion, where the surfaces are broken down. In deflation, it is also broken into 3 different categories called surface creep or creep, which moves the heavy particles along the ground. There is saltation, which makes the particles bounce along the ground. And there is also suspension, where the lighter particles are pushed up by the wind and blown thousands of miles or however long. And saltation is responsible for 50 to 70% of the wind erosion. Suspension is responsible for 30 to 40%, and then surface creep at 5 to 25%. Examples of canyons. On Mars, there is a canyon called the Valles Mineraris, and it's also shown in this picture. And that canyon is named after the Mariner 9 Mars orbiter, and it is more than 4,000 kilometers in length, 200 kilometers wide, and up to 7 kilometers deep. A canyon on Earth that we all know of is the Grand Canyon. The Grand Canyon is about 446 kilometers deep as well as long, and it is about 6.4 to 29 kilometers long in width. Nope. So because of climate change, there is not enough water left inside some canyons for them to continue forming because of many droughts. And because there is not enough water, there is a loss of plant life, and there could also be a loss of animal life if there was any before. And because it is a lot warmer, there is a possibility for an increase of wildfires if there is a forest nearby.